Welcome to the Roman Rodez Medley. I'm Rhodes.
And I'm Roman.
And today we're going to be talking about, the title, Membership Has Advantages.
Yes.
So basically meaning like whenever you're in a special group, the perks and privileges that you get involved. Not necessarily clubs you sign up for, but being like, I guess you would say, okay, frequent flyer miles is where we're going to start. Frequent flyers. Yeah. Now, there was a YouTuber, Casey Neistat.
Oh, Casey Neistat. You guys know Casey Neistat, right?
I didn't know Casey Neistat.
He doesn't know Casey Neistat.
Okay,
all right.
Basically, so it starts off, regular person going through an airport. You show up, you go to sign in, you let them know you're there, you give them your baggage, they weigh that, then you go wait in line to go to a metal detector, then you go wait and the lobby area in front and just wait for your plane to load.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
If you're ever taking a flight. That's usually how it goes.
And so
there's a video that Casey Neistat posted that I rewatched recently where he goes through the airport and he's like part of this membership where he gets the...
Because he flies a lot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he flies a lot. So he has an express lane and there's like a secret,
Which is like when he walks into the airport, he's like, I'm going to tell you guys where to go. And right then he goes to a special door.
Yeah, right? There was like a plane door with a security guard. He goes and shows him his little...
special privilege. I'm better than people.
And it's just like an express thing. He goes in and there's another check-in desk. He checks in first flight. They take him through another...
How many people is he waiting behind?
There was no people in there.
Yeah, that's a big deal at an airport.
And then they go through a private, another private door.
Antechamber.
And he comes out and he's right at the head of security. And he goes in and, does his thing. And it's just, I remember it became a big hit since this guy doesn't watch a lot of YouTube. Even though
I watch a ton of YouTube, I just don't watch him.
He doesn't watch that. So I was explaining it to Rhodes about this thing. And then we got to talking about how certain memberships, if you're part of a certain club, you get free perks.
Basically, there's certain credit cards that, I know there's a black card it's usually a business card, but also if you make a certain amount of money, like a lot, they'll give you this card. It's got a lot more weight to it. I think it's made of graphite or it's made of special materials. So it's a lot heavier too.
Plastic.
No, well, anyway.
I'm going to look it up.
Special plastic. And I know too, some people have complained about it who have to run machines because it's a little thicker than most credit cards, so it'll like jam them up. But basically, just having this card can work as an ID. It works as a verification because they know that if you have this card, you have money behind you. Now, most of the people who probably have this card don't make that much money. A lot of them are used as business cards. So you have a company and you need somebody to go on a business trip. You give them the card and it gives them all these special perks and privileges. I know you can get get through security faster at airports. Whenever you're signing in at hotels, they have a special line for you sometimes. I think, what was that? There's a movie with George Clooney where he does a bunch of like these card perks.
Up in the air? Up in the air?
I think so. And basically it lets them sign in faster. He tends to get a choice pick of the better hotel rooms. And then whenever he rents a car, they'll have, discounts. And also they'll have, it's a lot easier to reserve things basically. Whenever you reserve something with that card, nobody's going to take it. Right?
Yeah.
And
it would kind of like just having that card is just like a sense of power. Remember, he's comparing the cards with the woman. Vera Farmiga's was also in the movie. He's like comparing cards with. They're like, oh, I got this one. You got that one. I got that one. Kind of.
And they all have special perks, but that's because they're with those businesses. But there's some people who could just have that in their pocket. And Roman was telling me that people who are more well off, the most well off, instead of carrying cash, they have accountants or assistants who handle cash for them. But more and more, they're starting to carry. There's 3 types of like super cards, right?
Yes.
That basically, if you have these 3 cards, or even just one of them, and you show it pretty much around, it works as like this person's good. Go sit them straight through them, and that might not sound like that big of a deal. But if you're hotel rooms, whenever you sign in, there's usually a lot of paperwork. You need a driver's license, you need a card, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But I lost my driver's license recently as of today. And then was all the paperwork you got to fill out. There's a ton of stuff, but whenever you got this card, other people handle it. The paperwork, the card, everything. They pretty much just take all that extra stuff, the little things. It's not individually not that big of a deal, but if you're traveling regularly or trying to get things done, that could knock down a lot of walls for you. Yeah,
and it takes a lot of time in order to do that. So that if you go out to the Today I Found Out YouTube channel, they explore more of this. They go into more. But basically, like a lot of rich people, they have these assistants that take care of everything for them, all that stuff. They don't even need to carry cash. They don't need to carry IDs. The famous people like our president Donald Trump.
And admittedly,
like
it is
Bill
people
Gates.
make the high
Multi-millionaires.
multi,
Yeah.
not just like you make a few million annually. You make a few. It's whenever you're like up there.
Yeah, but one of the things in common that these multi-millionaires were talking
politicians. They might not make as much as they have, and that was like it's sort of being into politics is like a way of cutting in line and being wealthy. Because you could be dirt poor, you get elected in the right place, and it's like you could say, "Oh, you got the platinum, black card. Well, we just set a new law that no law you now need, blood point." It's like that's a way to cut in line if you want to get into politics.
But it also seems like whenever you're in a position of power, you get a lot of free stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. We are regular Joes, blue collar, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish I was a blue collar Joe. I have no collar.
So
we have no collar.
It's harder and harder to get free stuff. The other day on one of the podcasts, I was talking about how I got free movie tickets. That felt like a plus just because I was a member of the rewards program. And that seems like a big thing. But it seems, the more power you have, just the more people want to give you stuff and, pay for stuff.
Just not even getting free stuff. It's just the roadblocks that are put in your way whenever you're broke. So the example would be, whenever you have a bank account that doesn't have a lot of money in it, say I think Dave Chappelle the comedian does a bit about only having...
Dave Chappelle the comedian?
The comedian.
Not the politician.
Not the politician.
Okay. Or the neuroscience.
You ruined this whole bit by talking! Okay, so whenever you don't have a lot of money in your account, and it used to happen to me a lot, you get an overdraft fee. Basically, I was lucky that I was with a credit union that only gave me an overdraft fee whenever I actually spent that money. But some banks, whenever you've got like under $25, you have to, they'll start fining you for that regularly. Like every month you get a fine.
Fining you from not having money.
Exactly. They say you need to have at least so much in your account. You don't have it, so we're going to fine you because there's all these little fees like checking fee for having an account in their checking, for having an account, and for all the little privileges of like using an ATM, of spending, because there's some banks that charge you just to use that card regularly. But whenever you start making more money, and his joke was now that he had more money, all those little fees, those little chicken pecks disappeared. All the checking fees, the processing fees, it just went away. You didn't have to deal with that, those little bits. And basically, I know once I had I was getting lunch, and I bought my food, and then I got a message from my mom. She was like, "Oh, can you get me also something too?" And then I got her that, and she's like, "Oh, and something for my friends." And blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah," and I did that. And then I went to a storage because she wanted like a candy bar that was separate. And it turns out I had below the amount needed, so it charged me for each time I used my card. And one trip that cost me in real money probably $18 ended up costing me almost $200. Because $25 fee, and it was like, because I said it was just little things throughout the day. Like I bought us lunch, I bought myself, I bought breakfast, I bought lunch, and then later I bought something to eat, and just each of those times it charged you $25 fee
for each
time instead of shutting it down. And they figured that was unscrupulous enough that they made a law banning that from happening. And for a while it was like they'll do a one-time fee, and now it's like, no, once you don't have money, we won't charge you anything, which makes sense. Because at first they would sell it as it was a convenience fee because, we didn't want you to not have money. Trust me, it's not convenient to be broke
very
have
convenient.
Negative monies.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about the 27-minute mark.
I think we can cut it right there after that remark, and that'd be good.
Yeah.
Or we could just say, like, watch...
It'll be a short one, yeah. Cut out that little bit where I told you to shut up, too.
I like that. I think people want to see us argue.
Okay, well, we'll leave it in there.
Let's finish it up. I think right there where you ended it.
Oh, should we do a little thing then? By closing it up?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching. This was the Roman Rodez Medley.
Yeah.
Now remember, these are the shorter ones. So if you ever see Melody on the thing, it's just not going to be that long.
Melody.
And if there's somebody thought it was Medley.
It's Medley.
It's Medley. That's what I was trying to say, but there's some confusion about it. Regardless, thanks for checking us out. If there's any of these topics that you want us to go more in depth to, let us know. We'll get on it.
Yeah.
Check us out. YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud still.
SoundCloud still. Search Roman Rodez or the Roman Rodez Podcast. We should pop up.
Yeah. Remember, Rodez, R-O-D-E-Z.
Yes.
Bye.